Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So today I'm actually going to be filming my very first video. I'm going to be talking about fine fragrance mists that smell expensive to wear at Thanksgiving dinner with your family or going out on a date. So let's jump into it. Alright, so first up I'm actually going to be talking about Cashmere Glow. So Cashmere Glow has notes of golden peach, lily petals, shimmering vanilla, and cashmere musk. So I would say the biggest thing that I definitely get in this fragrance is the shimmering vanilla and the golden peach. Now this fragrance to me smells almost identical to Viktor and Rolf's Bonbon, just the original Bonbon. So the reason I actually only have Bonbon in the travel size is because Cashmere Glow smells so similar to it that I didn't feel like I needed to buy a full size. Now, eventually, if I do run out of Cashmere Glow in my travel size, I might go ahead and purchase a full size if I can get it at a discounted price. I don't think I could justify paying full price when Cashmere Glow smells so similar to it. So this is another one I'm actually not going to spend a lot of time on just because a lot of people do go over this scent as a dupe and as just a fragrance mist in general. So this one has notes of velvet dahlia petals, crisp pear, praline musk, and whipped tonka bean. So of course, we all know that this one is going to be a dupe for Carolina Herrera's Good Girl. Now this is a beautiful fragrance. It's very, not really dark, but it's very nutty almost. Of course on this one you do have the praline musk, which is very similar to the nutty notes that are in Good Girl. I'm not going to pull up the notes for this one just because everybody does go over this one very often. Dahlia has a whipped tonka bean note in it, which I think Good Girl might have a tonka bean note as well. Now this one smells just like a straight up perfume. It's very long lasting. It's very strong. You don't need a lot of this. This again is my second bottle of this one as well. The bottle's beautiful. This is probably one of my favorite packagings that Bath & Body has ever released. This one smells like it should be so much more than just a body mist. It smells like you have money. It smells like you're rich. It smells bougie. It's great for Thanksgiving. It's going to be great for lasting all day. It's another one that's not a gourmand type of perfume. It's just it's very pretty, very girly. It does lean a little bit more, I would say a little bit more floral, almost fruitier than Good Girl does. I think because of that pear note that's in here. But that's only if you're really trying to pick out the differences in the notes. Now, to just somebody that's walking by you, they're going to think that you're wearing Good Girl. They're going to think that you went out and spent the $100, $130 for Good Girl rather than, well, there's no price on this one, but I think $16.50 for this fragrance right here. $15.50 at the time for this fragrance. This is discontinued, but you can still pick this up on Mercari. You might even be able to find like the hand creams in some of the outlet stores of Dahlia. I do see a lot of people posting that they're still at some of the outlet stores selling it on like the $2 shelves, $2 or $3 shelves. You might be able to find it on Amazon as well, but I highly recommend Dahlia for Thanksgiving, for spending the day with your family. You're just gonna smell good. You're gonna smell sweet and just very pretty. Now up next I want to talk about Forever Red. Now Forever Red, I've heard a lot of people compare to many different fragrances, so I'm not gonna try to put a dupe to it. I just want to go over the fragrance itself actually. So it has notes of fiery pomegranate, red peony, rich vanilla rum, and oak wood. So I've heard a lot of people say this smells like sexy Swedish fish, and I can kind of agree with that. It does have a candy-like smell to it, but I definitely get that pomegranate and the vanilla rum that's in it. It's such a sweet, sexy fragrance that honestly is good for any occasion. Even just going out to the grocery store, but I definitely feel like this would be a perfect Thanksgiving Day scent. So this is going to overpower all of your foodie smells. You're not going to smell like cookies or pie, or you're not going to be succumb to the turkey smell stuck on your clothes or in your hair whenever you wear this. So I actually had to jump up and grab my dupe for Love Don't Be Shy by Killian. Now this is called A Night to Remember from Juliana's Perfume. This dupe is so spot on and so identical to the original Love Don't Be Shy that I will never ever be able to justify paying $350 for that. But that's besides the point. This pairing right here, it has me in a chokehold. When you paired Forever Red with A Night to Remember, it is just the most sweet, marshmallowy, sugary, sweet, candy-like experience. It's beautiful. Now, please, please, if you have even the real Love Don't Be Shy and you have Forever Red, even if it's a lotion, it does not matter. Please pair them together and let me know what you think, because it is beautiful. It has me stumbling over my words. It's so good. So next, I actually want to talk about something that has been around for a long, long time. She's an oldie, but she's a goodie. I adore Dark Kiss. I used to wear it in high school, and I really think I burnt myself out on it for a little while. But it was recently that I started craving the scent again. As you can see, I don't even have a dent. Barely a dent in this one. Now this one it has notes of black raspberry, burgundy rose, bergamot incense, dark vanilla bean, and plum musk. Now this one you definitely get that incense in. It's a very sexy, smoky, sweet fragrance. It definitely has that deep, dark black raspberry scent, that very dark berry note to it. It's not gonna be your typical bright buttercups and berry Bellini type scent. This is very dark and sensual. Now, for this one, I actually really think it smells similar to Britney Spears' Midnight Fantasy, but this one is so much more perfumey, so much more sexy. It's perfect for a night out, it's perfect for dinner in the evening, and it's even going to be perfect for your get-together for Thanksgiving. Now, Midnight Fantasy is pretty similar to it, I would say. I had to get up and grab it just because I do feel like they pair very well together. If you want to bring a brighter note to Dark Kiss and make it more daytime appropriate, put these two together and let me know what you think of that. Now, Dark Kiss is one that I definitely feel like smells like money. It doesn't smell like a body spray at all. It smells like you're going out in the evening, you got dressed up, you have a little black dress on, and it just smells like you put on your most expensive perfume. Now, I know that a lot of people feel like this is probably, just because it is an older scent, it's probably just kind of cliche at this point. I've heard a lot of people say that it's just overplayed, but in my opinion, it is beautiful, especially now that I'm getting back into it and seeing the way that it's changed since I was in high school. You get more of the incense, you get more of the dark raspberry note and that dark vanilla bean note. It's just perfect for Thanksgiving. Next up, I'm not going to spend too much time on this one just because everyone talks about it, but there's a reason for that. So Into the Night is one of just a beautiful OG fragrance. I mean, my packaging is pretty beat up. I've used it so much. I've gone through bottles and bottles of this. The top notes on this one are raspberry noir, amber crystals, velvety rose petals, creamy patchouli, and mocha musk. Now, I can't really say that I can pinpoint one note that stands out stronger than the other, but you can smell the raspberry, you can smell the mocha, but they're blended together so well that it just smells like your most elegant, your most rich, deep, dark fragrance. Now, this one is supposedly similar to Dark Kiss, but I don't get that. It's also supposed to be kind of similar to the new Dream Bright fragrance, which I see the similarity to, but I prefer Into the Night, 100%. Dream Bright is just a little bit too peppery for me, and it's not as smooth and it's not as creamy as Into the Night in my opinion. This one is going to be your perfect date night. Once again, your date night, your evening, dinner time, your Thanksgiving. It smells like you're the rich auntie pulling up in your new Benz. So I don't actually have the lotion or the body cream to Into the Night anymore because I used it up and I've gone through so many bottles of it. I just never actively went to pick it up because there's been so many new things coming out that I've been trying. but at Walmart. Scent Theory has a lotion called Light Up the Sky. The dry down smells identical to Into the Night, and the packaging is beautiful. They go so well together. It's perfect. Now the notes for this one are actually Night Blooming Jasmine, Yuzu Zest, and Mysterious Musk. As you can see here, it does have a rose note in it, which goes with the rose. Oh boy. Anyways, it goes with the rose note that is in Into the Night, but that's not the only similarities. I mean, they smell identical, and like it says here, it's great for a night of mystery and romance. But seriously, this is just your most bougie, rich smelling fragrance that would be perfect to pull up and make everybody think that you have money. So next up, I want to talk about another kind of an OG. This is Snowflakes and Cashmere. So there's no notes on this bottle, but I did look the notes up, and it does say that it has vanilla, cashmere, and white tea, clementine, woodsy notes, and amber. Now you really get the cashmere in. I don't remember there ever being a white tea note in the original notes, but I could be wrong. I remember the woodsy notes, and I believe the amber. The clementine I know for sure was in there, even in the original fragrance. But you really get that vanilla, that cashmere in. You get a little bit of that clementine, but I wouldn't say that it's even in a citrusy way. I really do think this would be perfect for your Thanksgiving, your family dinners. This smells like another one that just does not smell like a body mist at all. It doesn't smell like a fragrance mist whatsoever. It smells like just a very nice, sweet, girly, feminine fragrance. I've heard some people compare it to Santal Complete, I think is what it's called. I can't vouch for that because I've never smelled it, but I've heard a lot of people say that. So this would be another one if you want to smell like you've got money, if you want to smell just good, if you want to smell pretty and feminine and sweet. Snowflakes and Cashmere is your girl, and she pairs so well with so many other fragrances, so many other perfumes. Definitely pull her out for the season. So next up is a newer one that Bath & Body released this year. Actually, I believe at the beginning of fall. Now this one is Fall in Bloom. This one has notes of Juicy Plum, Wild Blooms, and Velvet Moss. Now, I've heard people say that this smells like the original Burberry Her, which I kind of actually disagree with. I felt like the original Burberry Her had more of a, I don't know, more of a juicier strawberry note, but I did find an actual dupe. So this one is a straight up dupe for Burberry Her Elixir. So Burberry Her Elixir is actually one of the new fragrances that just was released like maybe a month and a half ago. So I actually just looked up the notes for Burberry Her Elixir, and this one has notes of strawberry, blackberry, middle notes of jasmine, and base notes of vanilla, amber, and sandalwood. Now, as you can see, that is absolutely nothing like Fall in Bloom at all. But I can definitely see maybe how the Juicy Plum could come off as just a regular berry note. Now, as far as the other notes go, the jasmine could be a mixture of the wild blooms, and the velvet moss would be probably more of a dry down of the sandalwood that is in Burberry Her. Regardless, they smell identical. So this one, if you want to smell like you have money, if you want to just smell good, feminine, pretty, I mean just all around a wholesome perfume, this one is perfect for Thanksgiving. Absolutely perfect for day or night. Next up, I want to talk about Sensual Amber. So Sensual Amber is actually an OG scent that's been out for quite a few years. I believe they called it a discontinued or a retired scent for a while, but it's still available online now. So this one has notes of golden amber, wild berries, orange flower, lotus petals, and creamy sandalwood. Now this one, I'm not super sure how to describe her. You definitely get that amber, of course. It definitely comes across very soft, very smooth. Like this says, very creamy. You do get that sandalwood dry down, which actually makes this scent last for a very long time. I would say, honestly, for a fragrance mist, I probably get roughly 5 to 6 hours out of, if not a little more when I pair it with the lotion. So you do get the amber, you get a little bit of the orange flower, but not in a citrusy way. Again, this is more of just a smooth, think of like if you was to blend up oranges with some amber and some vanilla, but just barely any orange. You're gonna get that very creamy citrus without being pungent, smelling like cleaner. That's probably the best way that I'm gonna be able to describe this fragrance, but I want to compare it actually to a fragrance that a lot of us know, which is Flower Bomb. So she smells identical to Flower Bomb without that heavy patchouli note. This one I really do enjoy, but I don't always enjoy the patchouli in it. Sometimes it does dry down to be a little bit sharp on me, but that's very seldom that happens. I actually had Flower Bomb previously, and I got rid of it, and I got the sample back, and I realized that this was a perfect dupe for it. This is beautiful. It smells like, of course, a $200 almost fragrance, and it's very long lasting. It's so perfect for your evening time, everyday wear, running to the grocery store. It's not gonna be your foodie type scent. It's not gonna be anything that's gonna overpower and knock anybody out, but you will leave a scent trail. It's very strong, to my nose anyways. It's very strong, and it's a huge compliment getter. I get so many compliments every time I wear this, and I've been through multiple bottles of this one. So that's why this one is still full. I actually emptied my last bottle in my last month's empties. So for this one, I'm actually going to talk about a little bit of an underrated fragrance, which is Golden Sunflower. This one was not out for very long, I don't believe. I think it was out for the previous SAS that they had. This one has notes of sunflower petals, orange flower, and fresh vanilla. Now, a lot of people didn't give this one a chance just because spraying it straight out just smells like your basic floral fragrance. It doesn't smell like anything super special. But on the dry down is the creamiest, most beautiful vanilla with a smidge of floral. Yeah, it's perfect. It really does work for all year. You don't really get the orange flower in my opinion. You do get the sunflower petals, but that vanilla just shines through. Now this one is actually going to be almost an identical dupe for Alien Goddess Intense. So Alien Goddess Intense is just, I mean, it's a very pretty fragrance. It's, again, good for all year. I just got it actually this week, so I'm not super familiar with it. I haven't gotten to play with her a whole lot, but off first impression, identical to Golden Sunflower. And seriously, the Golden Sunflower is not a good name for this because it's just the most perfumey, beautiful scent. Now real quick, I just want to go over the notes for Alien Goddess Intense, which is coconut, bergamot, middle notes of jasmine and jasmine tea, and base notes of vanilla, benzoin, and cashmere wood. Now, as far as the coconut, obviously there's no coconut in this, but to my nose, and I've heard other people mention this too, but to my nose, you really get a coconut vibe. It doesn't have it listed in the notes, but it really does dry down to almost a coconutty vanilla type smell with just like maybe like a cashmere type note in it, but it's not listed on the notes. She's identical to Alien Goddess Intense. I've also heard some people say that it's similar to the original, which I don't believe I've smelled the original. I might have a sample of it, but I never got to play around with it enough to say for sure. But this one is beautiful for your day out. If you guys do Thanksgiving during the day, you know, maybe like a 12 o'clock dinner or something, this one is perfect for it. And the way this dries down, don't sleep on her. She's beautiful. Try it on your skin and let me know what you think. So next I want to talk about another hugely slept on fragrance. So I believe this came out in 2021 actually, and I really wish they would bring it back out. This is Whipped Rose Latte. So Whipped Rose Latte has notes of crushed rose petals, cocoa flour, and whipped foam. So this one I'm actually gonna dupe, and I would say that it's 85 to 90% similar to Roses Vanille by Mancera. So Roses Vanille is such a heavy hitter fragrance, and it's one of my top favorite fragrances of all time. I'm not a rose lover. Rose is very hard for me to like in a lot of fragrances. This one does it right. So this one starts out with almost a creamy rose. If you was to grind it up and put it in a vanilla milkshake. As weird as that may sound, that's what this gives me. Now the dry down is a vanilla fragrance with some sugar, some just very musky type notes, and the trail. The scent trail on this is insane. This is such a huge compliment getter, and it's probably one of my top compliments actually. So her notes are lemon and water notes, middle notes of rose and sugar, base notes of vanilla, sugar, and white musk. So it has a lot of sugar in it. This one right here, she's almost spot on. So this one really does smell like, you do get a little bit of that coffee cocoa note to it, but it translates to the same type of vanilla or cocoa that you get in Roses Vanille. So the dry down of Whipped Rose Latte, of course she's not as strong, she's not going to be leaving a huge scent trail, but she's a compliment getter. This is my second bottle of this one actually. She's very pretty, she's very girly, kind of classy. I would say that it's a little bit, it's not going to be a huge crowd pleaser, but it's very pretty. A lot of people are going to actually lean towards this and want to smell more. They're going to ask you what you're wearing. This is a good one for Thanksgiving because you do get a little bit of that gourmand feel to it, but it's not, again, not going to be your cake, your cookies, your chocolate cupcake, anything like that. This one holds its own. You don't have to pair her with anything. She is pretty strong. She is pretty long lasting, but it's not going to be, your sillage is not going to be 10 feet away. You're not going to leave a huge scent trail. But when you go in for hugs with your family, you hug your mom, your dad, they're going to compliment you and say that you smell good. And this is going to be lasting you all evening, which is what a lot of us want, of course. Next, I want to talk about Sunrise Woods. So Sunrise Woods is actually one that's come back to Bath & Body Works a few times, and it used to be one of my all-time favorites whenever I was in high school. So this one has notes of creamy sandalwood, sweet berries, and cozy cashmere. So this one is going to be kind of just your soft, cozy, musky type fragrance with a little bit of something else added to it. I would say that sweet berries does come through a little bit in the opening, but the dry down, I feel like you really get a lot of that cozy cashmere and that sandalwood. So this one I'm actually going to dupe as well. So this one, to my nose, is almost identical to Versace Crystal Noir. Now I do have the EDT, I don't have the EDP, and I don't know for sure if I've ever even smelled it. A lot of people say that that one is just a little too peppery in the opening for their nose. I've always enjoyed the EDT once, from the day that I got a sample of it, I fell in love. And Sunrise Woods is very, very similar to it. So, Versace Crystal Noir has notes of ginger, pepper, and cardamom, gardenia, peony, orange blossom, and your base notes of sandalwood, musk, and amber. So your similarities are definitely going to be in that sandalwood in Sunrise Woods. So you do get, of course, the creamy sandalwood in the opening. So the creamy sandalwood does stay throughout the whole fragrance to my nose. I don't really get a lot of the berries through anything else. But comparing to Versace Crystal Noir, I would say the most you get from that is actually going to be your sandalwood and your musk. Now, I do kind of get where people say that it has a little bit of a creamy coconut note in it, but it doesn't show that on the notes itself. Now I do have, I believe this is the 2021 or 2 rendition version of it. I just got this back in my collection again, maybe a month ago. I did order it, I think, from Fragrance Net as a tester just because it was so much cheaper. But if you want to know something that smells like this, you want to smell like Versace, you don't want to spend Versace money, you want to still smell good, you want to still smell sweet, musky, try Sunrise Woods. Now, I think you can still pick this up on Mercari. It might still be in Bath & Body Works. Don't quote me on that. But this one smells almost identical to Versace Crystal Noir. So try those out and let me know what you think. So last but not least, of course, we have to talk about You're the One. I won't spend too much time on her either. I know a lot of people talk about this fragrance, but it's a good reason. You know, it's very perfumey, very, very girly, very feminine. It's perfume-like. She's strong. You don't need a ton of this, actually, whenever you spray it, but I'm an oversprayer, so of course I'm going to spray a lot. Your top notes are white birch, velvety rose, and a drop of strawberry nectar. This is another rose fragrance that I actually adore, and I don't think I would like it as much if it didn't have that drop of strawberry nectar in the fragrance itself. Now, to my nose, this one smells almost identical to Angel Nova from Terry Mugler, and I'm talking about the EDP. Now, even my boyfriend has said in the past that it smells just like Angel Nova. It's one of his favorites on myself. He loves that one on me. Now, Angel Nova has notes of, if we can load here, raspberry, lychee, a type of rose, a type of wood, and benzoin. I won't even try to pronounce those, honestly. But this one smells so similar to Angel Nova. This one is a very potent, very strong, perfumey scent, like I said. This one would be absolutely perfect. And I would say probably #1 recommended for Thanksgiving. This one's going to overpower the scent of turkey, the scent of all the food, the pies. You're not going to smell gross whenever you leave. If you're anything like me, you can't stand to smell like food. But this one here, she is perfect for Thanksgiving. She's good for daytime, good for nighttime. A lot of people say it's only good for a night out, which I disagree with. I think she's good for all year. She's such an addictive, alluring perfume. It smells so good. She smells just beautiful. If you have this one in your collection, I would highly recommend wearing this for Thanksgiving. Even if you just want to wear it for night out, date night, daytime, run into the grocery store, she's great. This one smells expensive. She smells like she should cost $200 or $300, honestly. And I know a lot of people say that, but there's, like I said, good reason for it. It's one of the best that Bath & Body Works ever put out, and I slept on it for a long time, but I finally decided to give in after I saw so many people talking and raving about this perfume, this body mist, I'm sorry. Now I just want to go over a quick overview of everything that I mentioned in today's video. So this is not in order. Starting off with Cashmere Glow, we talked about Fall in Bloom, Dahlia, Into the Night, Snowflakes and Cashmere, Dark Kiss, Sensual Amber, Golden Sunflower, Whipped Rose Latte, Forever Red, Sunrise Woods, and You're the One. Now, I know this is a lot of fragrances that we went over, but I really wanted to try to give some options to anyone that may be struggling with choosing something to wear, or if they just are looking for some good dupes. You know, some of these have been gone over in other videos from other creators, but not everybody sees those, so I really wanted to try to give some new options as well, go over some old ones that might have been forgotten about. But I really hope you guys choose to stick around and let me know what you think of my very first YouTube video. Let me know what you would like to see from me. If there's any specific ideas you have for me, please just let me know. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving with your family and have fun. I just wanted to pop back on here and say thank you all so much for watching. I know I just said this in my overview of my body mist, but seriously, thank you so much for watching my very first video. This was terrifying to make, actually. I'm not a natural behind the camera. I get very shy. I'm very camera shy. I stumble on my words. I don't know what to say. But if you stuck around to the end, you watched this whole video, leave me a like, thumbs up, leave me a comment saying what you want from my videos. If you want a specific type of video, I really want to do some combination videos, different scents that I like putting together. I just want to have fun with the channel. I don't want it to be anything too serious. I don't want to do the aesthetics. I just want to have fun and enjoy it. But thank you all so much for watching. Have a great day.